Hey game fans, Roberto here doing another unboxing, and this time it is of Crooked Dice Game Design Studios 7TV, and this is the Cinematic Skirmish Rules 2nd Edition Core Rulebook. I picked this up. I also picked up the accessory cards and the profile cards for the basic game. I had picked up the pulp version, and I thought it was awesome. Like everything about the game, other than it's a little bit crunchier than I thought it would be. Like, I don't think the game is that hard. It just isn't like anything. It's that I played. Like, it's not too intuitive. Right off the bat, like the way things work. But after you mess around and read the rules and get a little clearer, like just your thoughts together, it's not that hard, but it's just different. But anyways, I was pleasantly surprised when I picked this up, and it is a smaller handbook, which I like. I like that it's not just big and unruly. It is, let's see, how many pages is this sucker? 288 pages. Came with some errata that they just threw in there, which I appreciate. So some pages that were wrong or whatnot. And let's see what this says. So on the just on the cover here, looks like we got James Bond, Flash Gordon, and not the Shadow. All of these, not the actual characters, but their likenesses are pretty heavy. On the back, we got not the Mummy, and they have Pulp Adventure figure, and looks like some sort of Foxy Brown spy of some sort. But anyways, let's check it out. Core Rulebook Revised Edition has action, adventure, fantasy, historical, horror, and science fiction. And action. Be kind, rewind. Enjoy playing all your favorite blockbusters with the 7TV, the cinematic narrative miniatures game. 7TV is a miniature agnostic skirmish game where you can recreate the action set pieces of your favorite movies and TV serials, or invent entirely new productions straight out of your imagination on the tabletop. Pitting action heroes and adventures against diabolical masterminds, crime lords, zombie hordes, invading aliens, monstrous horrors, and vile sorcerers is easy with 7TV's open, intuitive, and dynamic rule set. Yeah, it's very interesting. I like the whole idea of sandbox and miniatures agnostic, just that I can throw together whatever miniatures that I want on a table to play whatever type of scenario I want. And I believe there are solo rules. I don't think they're part of just the core book. I think you can download them on the website, which is fine. Even so, like, I can play a game. I can play a game by myself. It's not that big a deal. If I really want to play solo. But anyways, let's take a look at what's inside of the book. I really, really enjoyed that pulp set. Just sitting down and reading it was pretty good. It's a full color book, it looks like. So yeah, it intrigued me more, and I really want the fantasy and apocalypse sets. Even though this is supposed to give you the rules from all of the box sets that have been released, but like streamlined, and then you don't get any of the cards that come in those boxes. So I want all those boxes, because they're like, that pulp box just it blew me away. I thought it was really, really good. Anyways, contents. We got not Xena. What do we got here? So that's cool. And oh man, what do we got? So 7 TV times full TV listing, explosive great new season action movie lineup, late night horror, creepy fun, and corrupt evil. You decide. But look at this. We got, looks like Magnum PI, some Gandalf, Bond, and it looks like Al Pacino. I don't know if that's Serpico or if he is Han Solo here, but he got some Al Pacino action right there. Like, they're bold, man. they got their likenesses, and there's no apologies here. So I don't know. Like, kudos to what is it? What's 7TV Crooked Dice, because like they are in full production with lots and lots of likenesses that maybe they're just like, we're so under the radar. Who's gonna say anything? But like I said, full color book, looks awesome. I also picked up the 70s splat book, the expansion, the genre books, and haven't even looked at it yet because I was excited to go through this first. So I also got the Dracula one, which I haven't looked at yet either, just because I wanted the core rules. Just because. So says about this rule book. Here's looks like some of the, they have an accessory set of the templates. You can get that, and you got Mumra. Man, they got it all. If you like, I'm an 80s baby, so it made my brain explode when I seen the amount of content that they were just straight putting into their game. They're like, hey, you can play all that stuff if you want. We're not saying we're saying they're Beastmen, not Thundercats. So, cast building. So this tells you how to build your team 101. But look at, man, just look at this stuff. It's hilarious. So yeah, you got your you got these cards, and if you get the cards, I recommend picking up the cards if you're picking up the book, because it's just a lot easier right then and there. You kind of need them because they got all the stats for all the characters, all like the generic archetypes of heroes and villains. So you can take whatever miniature you want and kind of match them to your fantasy heroes or your sci-fi heroes or your pulp heroes, whatever. And there's even rules for like swapping out the abilities to make them even more closer to what you like. To me, like, I'm just gonna play with them as is. They seemed a little fiddly and a little bit more work than what it was, and there's enough different versions of the characters that you could find something that's close to whatever you want anyway. You need a sword and source, like a sword and sandal character. They got you covered. You know, your generic pulp sci-fi laser gun shooting guy, your spy. They got all that. So I'd say play with them, and then if you don't like it, then start changing stuff. But yeah, so here are the cards. Like, so it has all the stats you need right there, and then their special abilities. And I really like the cards because from the ones that I'd seen, not only does it have your stat cards, which you just pull that and you're pretty much, you find a miniature and you're ready to play already. You put a team together for however many points you're running. On the card, it will tell you, so on this card, it looks like it's at the top and it says how many points he's worth. So the lead is worth 10, the co-star is worth 6, and then you got a neutral extra and a neutral vehicle. So if this was your team, with your 16 points, what is it, 24, 5, 6, 7. So right here alone, got like 27 points. And like, hey, maybe you're playing a 30-point game, whatever the value game you're playing. You pull the cards, grab your miniatures, and set up your scenario. You're good to go. Like, that's awesome. I love skirmish games for that, with ease of play, where I can just get them on the table, get a quick game on a Saturday or Sunday, and done. You know, so that's awesome. So it tells you your attacks. The combat, very interesting. I don't know. Like, I haven't played the game yet. Like, let me say that. Like, I've just read the books and thought, like, just piecing together the rules that I've seen and the playthroughs I've seen online. It's interesting that, like, the first thing that happens, basically, to clear your attack, and then the defender rolls with all of his modifiers, his defense stat, which basically, like, to me, that just sounds so foreign. But like when you look at it, then I started thinking about it, and it kind of reminds me of just like D&D, where it's just like they're giving you an armor rating to hit. So it's just they're just rolling all their stats up front, and then you're just trying to hit a target number. But it's weird that most war games, it's like either hit at the same time or you attack and they try to dodge or something like that. But it's just like they're just rolling their defense first, which was just interesting. Like, I don't know if it's gonna weird me out when I play it, but it just, after I wrap my brain around it, it seemed alright. But so we got some Furiosa, some Tigra, and a couple other characters not female. Luke Skywalker down there. But anyways, stars, villains, it says, from popular IPs you may recognize, extra vehicles, units, customizing stars. So there's like a formula. So you basically take a card and then you can adjust what you're basically removing abilities to add the abilities that you want, and it makes the character more expensive. Like, you can even, so the cards are like, they are specific. Like, you can't use the sci-fi hero in the fantasy setting without sacrificing something. Like, so if you want to, it costs more, like, to bring the character. But it's also up to you. Like, they're pretty much guidelines for, hey, you you probably shouldn't bring your normal hero to this high fantasy setting or whatever. But you can do whatever you want, and it gives you the rules to try and balance it. But if you don't even care about that, then you probably pretty much just grab what you want and just play with it. Look at this Dagon, man. It's awesome. The miniatures, just looking at the website was making my wallet cry, because it was, the books alone were pretty expensive, and the shipping was also expensive. Everything about it was expensive. So, like, after the initial hurdle of buying the rules, like, if you're just getting the miniatures, like, I was looking at the cart, and the shipping wasn't that bad for miniatures alone. But, like, the books, I don't know if it's the weight. It's got to be the weight. It's just much more expensive. So we got example cast, sci-fi cast. So you can play some V. What else do we got here? Fantasy cast. It's not Lord of the Rings. And not. So here was one that was telling me for sure you got some Stranger Things going on down there. They call them Monster Hunters. That's one of the sets of models that I picked up just because I was like, I got to get some models, because it was just the rules alone were it was a disgusting amount of money. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to pick up any models. Just get the books. I have enough models, but I want to see the quality of the models they made. So I just grabbed the Monster Hunters, which were the Stranger Things kids, just to see how those, and I'm sure they're going to be a gateway of just buying more. So the whole deal is that with this game is you are playing, you're making movies, and you're making episodes of shows. And I really liked, in the pulp book, it had the name of the movie studio that you were running, and then a fake history, which was awesome. And it also had movies. Like, they went all in. They had posters and movies and like telling you how to run like 12 episode novellas, like how to run like a campaign, but in a serial style. And they gave you examples, and I just thought everything about that I thought was just really cool. I don't know if I'll ever get 12 games in a row for the same storyline, but like doing a 4-parter or a trilogy, that's doable. That's cool. So yeah. Anyways, here's what I was saying about like before the dice. So when you are rolling, however many dice you're rolling, you're just taking the highest number, and whatever that number is, you're adding it to whatever your key number is, whatever attribute you're rolling for. Like say if it's your attack, you're adding say this 5 because you rolled 5, 4, and a 2. Adding that 5 to whatever your attack score is, and then anything that's a 4 or higher on the other dice, they add a +1 modifier. So that to me, I don't know if I like it yet, but I understand it. Like, but when I first looked at it, I was like, what? How is, like, they'd come up with these numbers and it'd be like, oh, yeah, for example, the highest die is 5, adding +1 for every 4 rolled. And 5 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 for the 4 is equal to 6. And yeah, and then it's like they'd come up with like, oh yeah, it's a 13. But it's like I'd add the 3 numbers in my head and like, oh, that's not adding to 13. And it's 11 or whatever. But yeah, so anyways, but yeah, 2 types of tests. And then there's the static test, which is also different, where you get a target number, and it's still the same basic concept. You're rolling dice and just adding the high number and a modifier. Test is passed, equal to the target number. Okay, physician needs to pass a mind statistic test to use his medic's special ability. The physician's mind stat is a 4, so the target number statistic test table needed is a 4+. Okay, so you got whatever your stat number is, and then it's got like an old GW style of chart to come up with whatever your target number is. And there's opposed battles as well, but like there's things called plot points, which you can add your they basically add modifiers to your rolls, either dice or just +1s, +1 to the roll. Regardless, let's see. This is what I was talking about too. Like, I love the little posters that they came up with for the art. I just love that, and just in general, I love movie posters. I just think they're just cool. Anything that's like a vintage, just that looks like a movie house, just looks awesome. And the fact that they went the extra mile with that, I thought that's cool. This giant, I definitely have to get this giant spaceship with the pulp hero. Excuse me. But yeah, my mind just goes crazy thinking about all the different things you can run my own Jurassic Park, whatever. Like, you basically just have to put in the work for your terrain and your miniatures, and if you already got all this stuff, then it's just a matter of just putting it on the table. But yeah, it's I like stuff like this because it lets me go through my massive collection of wargame stuff and look at stuff that I haven't looked at in years and put it back on the table with dead games that I haven't thought about. But just like, oh yeah, I got all these Malifaux miniatures and I'm not playing that game, but I got all these like Western and Lovecraftian themed miniatures that I'm just not using, and I can repurpose them. So that to me is awesome. Setting up your games. It's kind of what I just said. Initiative roll. The initiative's kind of interesting. See, there's only like one initiative roll, and then at the end of, it's like every turn, you're flipping over these things, these chapter cards or whatever, and then so during the turn, if you don't have the initiative, you can steal the initiative by like speeding up the turn. So basically, you're rushing towards the end of the game. Once you run out of cards in this deck, the game is over, right? So, say you want to go first, so you just steal the initiative, and until the opponent steals it back, you have the initiative, and gives you extra action points, stuff like that. You get boons for being in charge, being a director, basically. Act 1 card effects. Oh, okay, so that's cool. I guess if you don't have the cards, I don't think the pulp one actually had this. This is like a chart if you don't actually have the cards, so you could just use a standard plain deck of cards to get the effects of what the cards would say, which is neat. Okay, and then the action phase. This is when the models actually activate. And we got Sherlock, we got the Karate Kid, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Then, yeah, you get your plot points for each model that you have. Your leader or your star and your co-star generate you extra plot points, and your plot points are basically your action points. It's like an action pool, and to activate a character, you need to use a plot point. And sometimes if they have special abilities, you use the plot points to activate those. So, it's interesting though, like, your main characters die, like your star and your co-star, if they both like are offed, you're kind of hosed, because then you're down to like you're not generating any action points really. So it's a rough go of it. It's called like axing your cast or something like that. Activating your models, spending a model. So normally you get 2 actions. And it's usually just a move and an attack, or a move and, something special, something like that. But there are, like, guns that let you fire twice and stuff like that. Charging lets you get a free attack. So then you'd be able to attack again, because it's just generating you a free attack. So that's pretty cool. I like stuff like, look at this. It's got like an Ant-Man. That's pretty neat. Okay. And what else is in this book? Does it have... So that's all of the basic rules. So basically, like I said, you're putting whatever scenario on the table. You're going back and forth using plot points, activating your entire cruise. It's not really you go, I go. It's you activate all the things that you can with your plot points. Activate all the things I can with my plot points. And then after that, after I went second, I have the chance to steal if I want to. But like I said, you're going back and forth. You don't want the game to run out of cards if you're like not winning. So there's definitely some tactical advantages to just paying attention to where you're at in the game with the cards for those decks. And what do we got here? See, this looks awesome. Got some Bond looking villain. Special actions, the end phase. Okay, example turn. I like that. I was really getting to, like I'm telling you, reading those pulp rules. The example turn. I was really into the game, the example game they had going, which was just like an investigator following like an evil, like Dick Tracy style villain of like a mad doctor, and like the way they wrote it, it made me want to play that way. Like it wasn't just describing what was happening in the game with the rules. It was like they were giving life to the characters, something a bit more fun that I've never done with a war game before. It seemed like, kind of reminded me like Gloom, where if you've ever played Gloom, where basically the narrative card game where you're making each other miserable, like these families, but you're doing a little improv with it. And I thought it was just the way it read. I'm really gonna try and play it that way, because it seemed really like really extra, really cool. So anyways, but it really made me feel like was listening to like an old serial or something. So anyway, we got some fungus monsters, some mossmen, plant dudes, so that's cool in a post-apocalyptic setting. Chicago, oh no, it's near me. Playing episodes, so yeah, narrative play, open play, campaign play, so that's neat. Then here we go. This is a miniature that I'm for sure gonna buy. I got some not Lion-O. The battle, the escape, the race, the raid, one play episode, the rescue, So these are all just, let's take a look at one of these, huh? So, let's look at the raid. So the raid, what's going on here? It looks like one cast is seeking to strike behind enemy lines, perhaps assassinate or defeat a member of the opposing cast, whether it's a personal vendetta or a culmination of deep cover mission that mean to confront and defeat their enemy at all costs. Both sides set up their models according to the cast location rules on page 69. Determined, the initiative is normal. Defending side gains 1 free VP extra to add to their cast if they don't already have one. VIP extra. This model is the target of assassination attempt. Director's cut. Add some variety to the raid episode by including one of these conditions. Ooh, that's cool. Booby traps, or Home Alone, or the stakeout. And then victory points. Use the standard victory point rules to determine the winner of the scene. Yeah, so that was it. Quick one-page synopsis of the scenario. The narrative episodes. Okay, cool. So, we got historical versus horror, adventure versus fantasy, or action versus sci-fi. The Sherwood Devil. The Queen of the Sun and the Moon is not enough. So, it's all cool. And the Sherwood Devil. So, looks like you got some Robin Hood against a cult with a demon of some sort. And that sounds neat. And here we go. Look, you got even a full-on setup. I like the way that looks. What else do we got? So there's a lot more episodes for just scenarios in this book than there was in the pulp one. The pulp one just gave you rough ideas, and I think it had 6 actual scenarios. Hostage situations, city riot, ticking time bomb. These are adventure tropes. The cursed treasure, and it's got setups for all of them. Lost worlds. What else we got here? The Doom Temple. So that's just sounding to me like some Indiana Jones stuff and Jurassic Park or Journey to Center Earth. What's this? Forgotten cities lying in undiscovered corners of the world are often filled with treacherous terrain. Step with care. Okay, magma, stinking sand, black ice marks, carnivorous vines, crumbling ruins. Follow step 4 on page 67. Generate, place objective tokens. Okay, cool. Yep. So these are episodes. What else we got in here? This book is just packed. The Ratings War campaign play. Okay, so this is different. Didn't really see campaign play before. Playing a one-off episode. Yeah, sure. Record victory points. Awards. Okay, so with campaign play, you're getting extra MacGuffins. Your characters are getting a little bit better by getting rewards of some poor fearless performer, lucky break. So that's cool. Effects department. That's funny. So they got all like the templates as like their special effects. So that's kind of fun. And statuses. Props. What are props? No screenplay will be complete without the actor being armed with an array of equipment. Plus, think of merchandising opportunity. Prop deck. Okay. Drawing a prop card. So, this isn't something that I had seen in the other one. So, what do we got here? Regardless, it looks like you have access to a standard playing card deck, replacing the prop deck, but if you didn't purchase it. So maybe it's inside of my accessory cards. Who knows? Magic. The Grimoire. Okay. Got 4 books for the Grimoire. I think that's all in the accessory, one of the accessory boxes that I got. So that's cool. Vehicles. So I want to play some Mad Max, which I do. I'm telling you, I want that Apocalypse set. I want that fantasy set. The Spy Fight, I can get that one too at this rate. Have all 4 of them, but definitely want that fantasy and the Apocalypse. So, advanced rules. Injuries. Oh yeah, here we go. That's cool. I love skirmish games like Mordheim, Necromunda, or Frostgrave, where your characters have long-term injuries and stuff like that. Blinded eye, broken legs. So that's all cool. MacGuffins got her Pulp Fiction briefcase. Cool. Fantasy, historical. So much in this book. They crammed it. Central casting. Okay, and the rest of it looks like it's just characters. But it looks like it's giving you all of the actual card abilities. The Pulp one did not do that in the book. It named off the cards, but if you did not have the cards, then you were just hosed. So yeah, I really like I really like having just cards for the characters that I'm using. Being able to look at that and not have to write out a roster or anything like that if I don't want to. That to me is just cool. Okay, so yeah, this is just page after page of just characters. And what else do we got here? Just keeps going. Templates in the back. Vehicles. It's got some vehicles. All right, so let's just take a quick look at what's in the accessories pack. It looks like a VHS tape, which I dig. VHS, core accessory cards, and then there they are on the back here. And looks like we're getting spell books and genre cards. What do we got? We got action, and then I guess this is what it means to play in an action game. Adventure, fantasy. These all kind of look like VHSs as well. That's kind of fun. Historical. It's cool. And let's take a look at what we got here. We got sci-fi and horror. So let's take a look at the horror one. What's it say here? Fear of the unknown and those who bump back against things in the night. The genre shines on flickering flashlights on all manner of monsters, both human and or rubber-suited. Tea time scares, disquieting folky colds, paranormal investigations, uncanny threats to sanity itself, all slither, chant, or shuffle across the screen. Genre effects, things that go bump in the night. Plot point cost none, restrictions none. Effects, all extras with the horror genre may activate for free this turn. Let's split up. Plot point cost 1. Restrictions, requires a co-star and a star of the genre in your cast. Choose one of your stars or co-stars that's not in the base contact with an enemy. That model can relocate anywhere on the map at least 6 inches away from any enemy model. That's cool. Video nasty. That's fun. Plot point cost 2. Restrictions, require a star of the genre in your cast. Your cast gains 2 stars, which are plot points, for any model in play suffering the scared status. During the script phase, using this card, during the script phase, the on-screen player may play one genre effect. If this genre matches any genre symbols colored on the script card, just play the necessary plot point costs and ensure you meet the restrictions above. Alright. Then, what else do we got here? Mini cards. I don't know. I am not the biggest fan of mini cards. I've said it before. I just feel like they, I don't know. You just ding them up too easily. They don't shuffle well. All the above. So, but what do we got here? We got script cards, and it says Act 1 and Act 2 and finale. So I'm guessing these are just generic in comparison to the pulp ones, which were all pulp related. Chase sequence. Okay, what else we got here? Hogging the limelight. So it's funny because you're even though it's a war game, you're trying to make a movie or an episode or something. So like your characters are the stars are just vying for attention, stealing more airtime. So hogging the limelight. 1 star always shines brightest. Choose one ally to make 1 additional strike immediately, regardless of what they have already done this turn. Okay, cool. And then at the bottom, I'm guessing that is the genre that can actually use it. So I don't know if you thin out the deck beforehand or you just keep drawing until you have one of the symbols that you're playing with. But I guess that's how you do it there. Dodgy prop. Damn these cheap production values. Until your cast is next on screen, all props cost an additional 1 plot point to use. Okay? And a finale. Cut. The crew wait to see if their work was good enough for the director's discerning eye. Choose a number of plot points to gain between 0 and 4. The enemy player gains the same amount. Okay, so finales. We got these look cool. These are spell books for the fantasy version of the game for your magic, and these just look awesome. So we'll just take a look at Fire and Flame, the Book of Fire and Flame. It's got a horned demon on the front breathing fire. Not too bad. Let's just pop it open. It is just that, and it has the spells. What's it say? Spark of Courage, Fireball, and Surtur's Hand. Awesome. This is what just sells me on games. When they go the extra mile, just give you little things to play with. It makes me happy. So let's just look at Fireball. Place the blast 3-inch template within 8 inches of the model, and all models touched by the template receive the on fire status and are knocked down. It's kind of funny because since it's like the characters in the game they get set on fire, but since it's a movie, it's just kind of like it's a stunt, but like you can really injure the actors and remove them. It's just so meta. It's the game within the game. It's funny when I read that as a status. I was just like, oh, that's kind of neat. Then what's this final deck? Props. See, this is something new for this one. It's like I said, I don't think there was a prop deck it was perils and MacGuffins in the pulp one. So I don't know if it was something that was in the earlier sets that's different, or if it's just new for this set, but we'll see. But yeah, my entire knowledge comes from that pulp set. So if you haven't been able to tell yet, okay. So we got props, and so we got what, DeLorean, and is it the TARDIS, and then we got the Islander's sword. They just do not care. What else do we got? Holy Grail. Wow. Okay. I got to see the ancestral weapon, the Highlander's sword, huh? So here we go. And on the back side is a piece of art, which is cool. There wasn't really much art on the cards in the other set. Play, models activation, S. It costs 1 plot point to discard after use. Held aloft, the ancient weapon channels the spirits of your forebears, stirring memories of the quickening, untapping energies. You have the power. For every ally within 12 inches that passes a spirit statistic test, gain 1 plot point. Wow. So the whole team is just gaining plot points if you use that MacGuffin. the Ring of Power. Man, they did not care. There's a Xenos egg. Wow. And let's take a look at one of these props, huh? Bandages. And what's it say? Model activation. S. Cost none. Restore 1 health to this model. Yeah, so basically, most of the things have like between like 1 and 3 hit points. So whenever you hit something, it's usually just, you hit an extra, usually just killing them. Bloody knife. Wow. Looks cool. Alright. And then this extra long video, because I can't stop talking about the game. Let's just finish it off with what's inside of what I'm most excited about is this pack of cards. It's basically, I think it it just melds my love of miniature war games and trading cards just in general. Like, nothing's more 80s than trading cards, believe me. Like, if I didn't have just movie cards or comic book cards or sports cards or sticker cards, just, man, now I have game cards and I'm all in. So this is, what is it? Bold Blade, Heroic Star, and like I said, all the stats you need on the front, and then all the special abilities on the back. It's just so helpful. Like, you don't have to flip for something. You just have the cards. You're looking. You're gonna get this game. Just splurge for the cards at the very least. I think you can probably get away without having the accessories, like the templates. Like, if you play, you have templates, I'm sure, if you played other war games. So, now this stuff's pretty cool. Like, but I think all of this information was in the book as well. Like, but the cards in the other games, they were not in the books. It seems like these cards were in the book. So, you got your Indiana Jones adventure, your Intrepid Adventurer, Innocent Soul. Are these all? Yeah, stars. Lovable Scoundrel. Masked Crusader. Yeah, so. Yeah, even, like I said, if I want to run Batman, use my Batman miniatures. Because he's this Masked Crusader. Like, it might not be 100% Batman, but, like, play it as is, and then if you don't like it, start swapping things around. But you know, it's just like, get the game on the table. That's my main thing. Like, I like to play games. Don't have a lot of time, a lot of free time, so that it's cool when I can just pop something open, read the rules, and just get going. It's already got miniatures and terrain already. So a Doctor Who character, Mysterious Stranger, the Secret Agent. So these are all Heroic Stars. Oh man. Got the A-Team. That's pretty good. Then there's a lot of them. Look at this stack of cards. I think it was 100. 102. Daring Rebel. The Everyman. We got Michael J. Fox here. It's awesome. Oh, this is cool. The Final Girl. I like that. That's cool. Heroic Co-Star. The Final Girl should be the main star, but whatever. Lone Survivor. The Loyal Sidekick. Man, get round. Not Round Eye. Forget what his name was. But Short Round from Indiana Jones. It's pretty crazy. You got Xena and Wise Mentor. which is a Gandalf. This is awesome. Corrupt Authority and Villainous Star. So yeah, so there's it's good guys and bad guys, and you're basically not really mixing them unless you have, there's like unit cards that let you change. It basically lets you put different characters in an affiliation, make them neutral, so you can hire them. The Mumra character, it's pretty cool. Dark Shadow, and all right, so that's a lot of the, what is that? The stars. Then we got co-stars, career criminal, and then villainous extras. What do we got here? we got a bystander and cursed creature and heavy weapons team. There's lots of different stuff in here. Monster of the week. That's really cool. Is there different monsters? I'm very interested in the monster of the week. Is there different options on here? Choose your terror. Yeah, there is. Brute, construct, or reptilian. Heavy hide, mysterious. Brute, construct, or reptilian. The range of this model's smash attack is increased by 2 for reptilian. Construct. This model gains the access to the zap attack. And brute. This model can move through enemy models, pushing them 2 inches. So, yep. We got the mummy. Straight up the mummy. They weren't even messing around. Got a steed. We got a vampire. I wonder if these are the same stats for the Dracula vampire, but I'll be able to check. So that's cool. And then vehicles. So awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to get this on the table. It's just a matter of figuring out what I am going to try first. But this looks great. Really excited about it. And yeah, let me know if you've played 7TV, because I have not yet, but I have read enough about it and have watched enough of the videos that I've found online, and I am really excited about giving it a go. So anyways, my name's Roberto. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Sorry about the super long video if you weren't into it. But yeah, if you hadn't heard of it, or if you're interested, or if you've played before, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the game. What is your favorite genre for playing in the game? If you have the sets, what's your favorite one? And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.